Hello, Phil Morris here, the Time and Time photographer, and we're picking up on the face retouching from last time. And what I have here is the image that we were working on. We have our background image where we went through and we healed up the skin and we brightened up her teeth. So we can see that her teeth were a little yellow, and we brightened them up a bit. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to start working on the eyes. Now this is probably going to take a couple of sessions to do this because there's an awful lot of work that we need to do to make those eyes really stand out and pop. And what I want to do is I want to make a duplicate of all these layers onto one layer. So that is Command Option Shift E, or that's uh, the Alt Control Shift E, and that makes a completely duplicate of everything. So we could actually go through and turn all these off and you don't notice any difference. But we need to leave them on, and I'm going to label this Bright Eyes. And I'm going to change my mode to Screen. And that's going to brighten everything up. But what I want to do is I want to hold down my Option or Alt key and make a new layer mask. That fills the layer mask in with black, so anything that we paint with white will come through. So let's zoom in to the eyes here. And let's zoom in a little bit more. Yeah. And with a fairly soft brush, I'm going to be painting on the layer mask with white. We don't have to be too careful because her eyes are kind of dark, around the edges. And plus we are going to lighten this up. Alright, now she looks really strange, but we're going to lower the opacity down quite a bit, down to about 30%. And as you can see, before, after, nice little brightening done there. And now the next thing I want to do, as you notice, the irises are a little bit on the soft side. So first thing I want to do is I want to get my eyedropper, and I want to set my sample size to something like 11 by 11 because I want to sample the brown of her eye right here. And we need to be on the layer there, and now we've picked up that brown. And I have built an iris from another eye here, and it is a regular eye, and what I've done is I've turned it black and white. I've blotted out the pupil. I've done a layer adjustment on it to make it really dark, and then I've got a colorizing layer. So what I'm going to do is this brown that I've selected, I'm going to go here. Now I like that brown, but it needs to go quite a bit brighter. So there's several ways we can do that. We can adjust the brightness here, but really what I like to do we're going to do the same sort of duplicate here. We're going to copy it, and let's come over here. I'm going to zoom out. That's fine. And we've got one great big eye. Let's convert this into a smart object. And I did Command T, and I am just going to shrink this eye down quite a ways. Shrink this down quite a ways there. Move it down here. And this is going to take a little bit of finessing. One thing we can do is kind of lower the opacity, so we can try to match the eye size. And actually that looks pretty good right there. Let's bring the opacity back up. Move this over so we can see the other eye. Now we need to label this eye left, and I know it's her right eye, but I always label it as to what I see. It helps me keep track of what's going on. Make a duplicate of the eye over here. And another thing I like to do is rotate this a bit so they don't look exactly the same. And in fact, this case, this eye needs to be a little bit smaller because it's slightly further away. Right about there. Oops. We want to call this eye right. Boost the opacity back up. And now we need to make a layer mask. Swap this around so that we are painting with black, and we clean out this through here so we can start making this eye look like it belongs. Make a layer mask over here. And I went a little bit too far, so I can just swap back to white, paint that right back in. Now I know those eyes look really funky right now. They're very hard, but we'll take care of that in just a little bit. Now to clean that up, I've got a brush here, and let me show you what this brush looks like. In one little click, it's a very dark ring plus a little gradient going on the inside. And what I'm going to do is I've made a new layer here, and I'm going to take this and I'm just going to do a simple click here. And let's move over to this eye. And this one needs to be a little bit smaller. We click right there. We make the same layer mask. And switch back over so that we can clear this out. And there we go. And it's a little bit on the rushed side, but now that looks a little bit more natural. I know it still looks really dark, but we will take care of more things with the eye in the next vlog post, including the catch lights and kind of blending things in. Once again, my name is Phil Morris, the Time and Time photographer. Thank you for listening, watching, and hopefully learning a little bit.